go. Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt on a Monday. We're gonna do our back squats today, but remember that this week is our deadlift max out week. We're gonna do that on Wednesday of this week. So be thinking about that as we move forward, that these are required squat sets, but they're at the very beginning of the 18-week squat strength cycle. So the stuff that we do this week, I definitely would recommend, if you want a PR on your deadlift, that you take that into account on this Monday and the Tuesday following, that we don't overload your body and tank yourself. Even though we would still recommend get in the gym, hit these workouts, but maybe just take a little bit off the top so that you save some of that energy and recovery for the deadlifts that are gonna be on Wednesday. All right, that's it for the preface. For our warm-up, we're gonna go 2 or 3 rounds, or if we get to 15 minutes, we'll just shift over to the squats. I want you to start with a 200-meter jog. When you get done with the jog, come in for some band hamstring curls. Very important to load up and stretch out the hamstrings on the squat, on a squat day, because it is very, very easy to use your quads. Most humans are very quad dominant, but loading up and waking up the hamstrings usually takes a little bit of time. So this is one of those things where we say, let the warm up do its work, right? You may not feel like this is directly applicable to your squats, but I promise you it is. The hamstring is not just responsible for closing your knee joint, it's also responsible for opening the hip joint. So when you're standing up from the bottom of a squat, you are simultaneously using the quads, the glutes, and the hamstrings all to create that extension of the hips. So it's important that the side that you can't see gets as much attention as the side that you can see. All right, next one, knee hugs. So just pull those knees up to the chest. Burpee jumps. So practicing for our burpee movement that we're going to do later in the workout. Try to get from the plank position until your toes are in line with or in the middle of the foot. All right, we're practicing hopping from a flat-footed position back to that plank position. Then a 20-second monkey hang, right? So you definitely want the shoulders to be nice and open and loose. And I say this most of the time when we do our squat warm-ups, but because we're getting the bar behind our neck with our hands holding onto it for our back squats, we want to make sure that our shoulders are nice and loose before we start that, so that I'm not stuck in this position where the bar is up on top of my neck because my shoulders are so tight. Right? And a lot of times it's just hanging static from a bar can help to loosen up the tissue in the shoulders, as well as just wake up all the muscles in the grip and the rotator complex. Okay, all right, so we're gonna hit that for a couple rounds of 15 minutes, do a couple rounds of back squat warm-ups, and then we're in the middle range of our back squat strength work. So this is 8s down to 5s. The percentages are all built into Sugar WOD, and then when we finish that, we're gonna do some reps of a dumbbell pullover. I got a kettlebell, which is just the same thing. As long as you have an object overhead, that is the only thing that's required to get this done correctly. And what we'd like to see is the position that is really the stress position on the dumbbell pullover is as your arms reach over your head. I'd like to be able to see your ears past your arms with the load on your hands and your elbows just about straight before you pull back over your body, like so. Right? Overhead and then pull over. And I strongly encourage you guys, if you haven't progressed the weight on this one in a while, just because you've gotten used to doing the same, say 20, 25, 30, 35 pounds, try to step it up a little bit. You will see a benefit in all of the movements that require your lats and your serratus anterior to function when you start increasing the load on the dumbbell pullover. So things like kips, pull-ups, toes to bar, bar muscle ups, bent over barbell row, all of those lat and back dependent exercises will improve when you can really stretch those muscles all the way to their end range with a significant amount of weight on it, and then pull it back over your body, right? And oftentimes it feels uncomfortable, it feels a little unsafe or unsure when you're way up there, but if you do it repetitively, you'll start to get more confidence with it, right? And I try to program those about every week, maybe every other week, right? And they are a fantastic accessory exercise. If there's one that I was gonna add to anybody's program who wants to work on their gymnastic abilities or on like their upper back posture, that's definitely one that I would throw into the mix, okay? All right, so that's our strength work. Then we're gonna get a 15-minute AMRAP done after that. It's going to be a mixture of walking lunges, calories on the bike, and burpees to a target, right? So the walking lunges we'll just do on the floor. So the length of the rig is approximately 40 feet. So we're just gonna start at the front of the rig, take a step, tap that back knee gently to the floor, and step through at the top. Make sure that we're not doing stutter steps, right? And kind of cheating steps on our way down the floor. And then calories on the bike, this should be a short interval, 20 and 16. So try to think about like 30 to 45 seconds at a pretty huffing pace on the bike. And then the last one will be burpee to a target that is 6 inches above your vertical reach. So for me, I like this one. It's the double bar, and I touch the top one. So remember, it doesn't have to be the lowest thing around, and there's always the ability to touch the wall also. So if I can get next to the wall, you don't have to be facing the target. You can kind of be at an angle to the target, go down, and if there's something that I know is 6 inches above my vertical reach, like that line, I just reach my hands up here, the next line up, I'll try to smack that with both hands. Try to touch the same height with both hands so you're getting a symmetrical jump when you do it. And that is the workout for today. So it's just a good medium pace cardio and body weight movement exercise complex to finish for today. And again, remember your pace when thinking about what I want to get out of Wednesday, my 1 rep max deadlift. All right, that's it for today. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.